famous socialist of the end of the 19th century.
It makes a man a man.
Defector. So it goes against the nature of trying to basically battle against the environment and having an incentive to do things because you have needs and wants that are not fulfilled. And the premise that I'm going by, and once again, correct me if I'm wrong, you were saying that you want the type of technology that outpaces the needs and wants of each individual.
Yes.
Okay, so that would create an environment, a natural environment for them. Negative effects on it.
No, I don't think it's unnatural for humans to have what they need.
Let me ask you a question, Andre. Over time, I could argue against your point in that this is a spectrum, not binary, and that over time we have progressed on that spectrum from zero, where we're striving, as you say it, to maybe we're at like 15 on that spectrum. Right, like we're not where we used to be. I think also, right. Most there are people, right, depending on economic needs. Not everybody's right. There are people that are right on various places on the spectrum, and surely there's an average. So I guess my devil's advocate, proposed, question to you is, do you acknowledge like we're on it's a spectrum and we've shifted already on that spectrum? It's just a matter of how far is too much.
Oh crap, Mike left.
Oh, he left. But I agree with holistically, it's going too far on the spectrum is detrimental.
Well, yeah, I mean, like what we're basically trying. There is a piecemeal type of approach in terms of social engineering. I despise the general concept of social engineering, but I think it's necessary, like at least in the most minimal amount, it's necessary because each culture is essentially doing some sort of social engineering in order to reproduce itself. So that's okay. So as long as it goes that's fine. But when we are actively engaging in taking away or giving. Oh, sorry. One second.
That's better.
Can you hear me?
Yep, better.
Yeah. So what I'm basically saying that social engineering of is necessary. Like it's not that I'm saying we can completely get rid of it because each society is trying to promote its own values, reproduce itself. That's one of those necessary evils that we cannot get rid of. Mm-hmm. But when you proactively starting to engage in trying to change the very human nature, is what totalitarian or authoritarian regimes do. In fact, they try to create a new type of human being in order to fit in the utopian vision. I think that is extremely dangerous, and I think what Michael was proposing is in line with that type of thinking.
Are you in America by chance?
Yeah. I'm in the South.
Yeah, some would argue, not a very popular take, but there is and I don't necessarily believe this, but there is a theory out there that how complex and how bloated American healthcare system is, right? It's almost 20% of our GDP. It employs tens and tens of millions of people in the private sector, in various health plans, and in various middlemen, right? Again, it's not an excuse by any means. Let me just start with that. It's not an excuse, but there is a small group of people that think that if you can't just quickly blow it up because of the impact. It's a slightly different conversation, but yet maybe you can bring it back to relation to this conversation, that if you blow up the whole thing, you have again, this is different. It's more of an unemployment issue, but you could, it's going to have detrimental impacts to an outstanding portion of individuals in the U.S. economy. It's a lot different. I admittedly just trying to think if that relates in something that's happening in real time.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? I know it's probably a very bad analogy.
Yeah, I think I understand what you're trying to get at. Basically,
but I mean, social engineering. Let me just finish real quick, and I'll land right here by just saying, from a social engineering perspective, as it relates, right? There are jobs, and people are going about their day to day. And again, I'm not saying it's not an excuse for why prices are so high and why the system is so complex and why people are bankrupt, because of medical bills. I'm not saying that it's a necessary evil by any means. I'm just saying, though, there is a contingent of people out there that are saying, hey, if you do blow this up, though, is this a social, construct that we need to be maybe is so big that we need to just be aware of. I'll pause there.
No, absolutely. And I think I understand what you were trying to get at with the healthcare. And I mean, I'm going to try to steelman at least one of the positions I think that you were talking about. And stop me if I'm getting it wrong.
Sure.
So one of the things that you're saying is that there's so many people who are dependent and engaged in the industry itself, that any sort of radical change would create such a horrible effect on their livelihood, job market in general.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
Tens of millions of people.
Millions, yeah, that's right. So the piecemeal approach to that would be, in terms of social engineering, would be a slow transition into something. Now, I don't agree with, even though I admire her sternness and her principles, Margaret Thatcher's approach to the coal industry, for example, in England, like a famous example, there needs to be some sort of pathway of moving people out of the industry, creating incentives in different industries, and slowly kind of trickling down the negative effects of it. But I mean, it all becomes a question of degree to which you are interfering into the natural process. Because like a more libertarian-minded person would say, fuck it, just cut it off. Let people figure out. The ones who can swim will swim. The ones who can't will drown. That's just that's the survival of the fittest. But I think we are past that point where we require those type of methods, and they are appropriate for our sensitivities. Some sort of like social moral.
Somebody kicked me out of the room.
We all understand that we all have a final point where we all end. Where do you want to be when you end? I think is the question.
Nope. You're always here right now.
What's your name? Santana.
Or be in the arms of a beautiful woman.
I'm going to give you better advice, Matt. Go and get a box of cereal, get back into bed, grab yourself whatever you want, a Gatorade or whatever.
We're back in the deep state.
Continue to work as we tend to it.
Scott is leading the deep state.
Continue to make it better through evolution, not revolution.
But Scott, can I just say one question? Which is, I don't know if is it, don't blow it up, but change, maybe I guess it's argument about blowing it up altogether versus incrementalism. Like, I think some people would be centrists and say, yes, things need to change, but you can't blow it up. You'll sow more chaos and cause more harm if you blow it all up without a solution in between.
Right, that's the fundamentally conservative nature of the argument, right? And that's, I mean, I think what's hard is Democrats sort of being on the conservative end of the discussion, right? Being for the preserve, steward, protect, as opposed to.
They kicked me. How did they know? How did they kick me? Oh my gosh. That sucks. There goes that burner account.
Yeah.
I was hearing from a man and Ned. Then him being Hispanic don't hurt either.
He's in the military. Yeah, he's got a lot of the media in America voting likes. Yeah, he's good. He's all right. Yeah, he outran Harris in Arizona by like, I want to say like 10 points. It's crazy.
Nah, because I was in the conversation.
Deep State Patriots.
My bad, y'all. This women got bad. Give me a second.
Bro, thank you. Shut up. These niggas is talking about some shit. Shut up. We'll talk later.
Hey, who got a battle?
You guys have a lot of fun stuff going on in the city this weekend.
Who, me or you?
No, you. So I just spoke to my friend in that region, and he is like, there's a ton of stuff he's taking his kids to, some Jewish events, and then some just fun, like, stuff. They're going ice skating, roller skating.
Yeah, for kids. But I have an adolescent.
Yo, how old? If you don't mind me asking, because I'm a brat. Oh, that's not a brat. That's an adult.
Yes, it's very good and blessed.
Well, she's 19 currently,
Oh,
so she's
very
technically
good.
still an adolescent.
Dude, I got kicked out of my house when I was 17. Like, what the fuck?
Is this the Oppression Olympics?
Yes. I have it worse. She doesn't want to spend time with
Dude,
me.
I was 17 in 92. This is 30 years later, and y'all are being like, put him in the corner and give him time out. Y'all pussy bitches.
Okay. Well.
Pussy
thank you for your
bitches.
parenting advice.
If I was in Canada, I would have just traveled north to that country and done some sightseeing.
If you were in Canada, where it's already cold, you would travel further north where it's more cold and fight with bears? Is that
I have no reservations about the weather.
okay? Well, good luck with that.
Or just hop on a flight to Florida. One of us will pick you up.
I am going to be doing that.
And from then on, you'll be called a snowbird as your, like, new thing.
Stop. No. Not a snowbird. Not yet. If I were to be a snowboarder, I'd be going to, like, Australia for their summer. I would be going to
Well, I mean, I got somebody offered me a marriage down in, like, New Zealand. You know, not
You
recently.
should take them up on it. New Zealand's a nice place.
There's no him in it. What the fuck you say him for?
Oh,
I
yeah,
ain't gay.
her outfit.
Fag.
Well,
What's up? What the?
You called me.
Well, dude. No. But, dude, I grew up, dude, like, listen, dude.
Dude, I'm not.
Listen, dude, when I grew up in the beaches of Florida in Brevard County, and I go surfing, I don't care if you were a girl or a guy, but like, yeah, what's up, dude? You like that looks like a nasty little rip right there. You want to go hit it? Like, yeah. Like, dude, come on, let's roll, bro. Come on, dude. It has nothing to do with man or what.
And I
it has nothing to do with
the difference.
Well, I mean, the way you say it, it sounds like an elephant's, hair on his ass.
Okay, Don, how many beers have you had?
Not enough to not remember what the fuck I was doing yesterday.
Okay. Just check.
What did you do yesterday?
Exactly what I'm doing right now.
Drinking an undisclosed number of beers.
Oh, I can tell you exactly how many beers I ran yesterday.
Do you keep a spreadsheet?
Mary Catherine!
No, I have a personal assistant that takes care of that.
Perfect.
But what are we really talking about? Like, is it like, bust on dog?
Mostly about sex.
Sex is
Wow.
Are you into theirs?
Wow.
dude, like your whole life, like you're with a woman in behind a closed in a behind the closed door situation. You were literally behind a closed door with a woman.
How?
In an erotic manner. Maybe if you're really got a good strong libido.
Say it slower. Say it slower, Don. Say it slower.
Yes, go on.
I'm thinking.
If you have a really nice libido.
Yeah, man, I'm thinking maybe like behind a closed door as a man and you're very virulent, like you might be 10% of your relationship in that erotic way behind a closed door. But the rest of your time is 90% of learning how to be a fucking man, son.
Yeah. It's not, if you're in prison or the military, it's not gay to occasionally fuck a guy.
Well, as long as you don't make eye contact.
I mean, those are special circumstances.
What if you need to travel to see a man?
Everything is going to be fine, Nate. Don't take life so seriously. None of us are going to get out of life alive.
Ooh, they're actually redeveloping that lot. That's exciting.
I don't know, but some bears are critically endangered.
I said, bro, nigga live outside this shit, fool. Well, I don't give a fuck about no jail time, bitch. I literally do that. Literally. Did your pipe out, though? Need to check my pizza out. I'm on the road, fool. The golf at San Antonio cut you all the way up last night? I had to leave. He was beating you bad, though. I left. That's what got this. I'll be right back. Icelandic women would do it.
You say Icelandic?
Icelandic.
It's fucked up, Joe.
Sorry.
Diego went silent on me, man.
That's a rough one.
Yeah, I won't use that again. Yeah. Put that in my notebook.
Sorry, distraction in the home.
I thought it was my comedic timing.
همه میگن فحاش، ولی بعد از 2 سال ما میبینیم
How dare you try to tell me
How do I tell you that example is wrong? Did you say?
you said it was like too complicated. You were like, no, this is too complicated.
No,
What do you want to play? So I'm like, you the hill. Don't try to get back in either. Marley, stay your ass on the sidelines. That's not my bad.
Yeah, trade that's valid. I just had to make sure. I had to protect him just to make sure that it's not like a straight drop. Because sometimes, candle that just slashes right through the price. It confirm that it's still good.
That's all I'm doing, my bro.
You cannot deny anything. I mean, you cannot deny anything because there is only one thing that you cannot deny. That is why there is no denial of anything.
Yes, see, if you take it this way, avidya, even if you take it a causal form, avidya into a deep sleep, eventually lead to
just asking, Michael. He was waiting for a response from Matt.
That's all simple. So, if you can answer this, do you know any laws that are sass in the mouth? Hold on. Do you know any laws that are made out of Huey?
Didn't you see the news coverage of the cats and the dogs?
That's it, right? Another one.
She was dead to me.
She was dead to me.
The moment she licked me arsehole.
Me and Simon had like a fucking 2 or 3 hour co-working space where we probably said nothing but like Clubhouse random tweets. Like, that's right. And she was dead to me. And then be like, TTR the proof, bitch. Like, you can say so much without actually saying anything at all for hours at a time. Pictures already didn't exist. That's right. Tits or get the fuck out.
Dude, like I started watching like this one girl. She has these like shorts on YouTube, and she has she's rather endowed, right? I started like reading the comments. It is like super aggressive, man. Like dudes, they're just so like enamored to start a conversation about her assets, and it's pretty funny when she brings it up, points it out. But she does it in a funny way, and I'm like, damn, man, like these dudes are super aggressive, man. Like, man, how do you get that thirsty, man?
It's called the internet, Karsten.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, I mean, publicly saying this stuff out loud and how public facing the comments are, and they're attached to your real like life thing. It's not a troll account. These are like real dudes, like being like thirsty and acting like this dude is like anonymous.
You can't really search YouTube chat or YouTube comments. I mean, as someone who has a very large internet footprint, it's really the Google search that you want to control. And for example, if you Google my telephone number, you'll see all kinds of, you'll immediately see me on YouTube, you'll see me on Instagram, etc. So I set up a new Hinge It and Bumble account, and now I'm only texting with girls with a new number because I lose so much opportunity when the girl, you know, that I want to take out sees me on YouTube, you know, live streaming myself talking to you guys. You see the problem? That's a real doxing, and what you're talking about, Carson, is really just, you know, typical internet, you know, comments.
He's really doxing.
No, I get you. I get you. Wow. And I get you on that one, man. But at the same time, like, if the dude has a channel, like, the channel pops up. And there's people with channels and all this other stuff that are, like, thirsty in the comments, you know, with actually a presence on YouTube, not just, like, commenters. You know what I'm saying?
We just got back. It doesn't matter. We just got back from the nightclub. I hadn't even taken a shower. She started licking me arsehole. It's disgusting. Then we had hot, sweaty sex.
See, you're getting carried away with yourself. It was the next morning.
Morel, what's going on, Morel? I've enjoyed, you know, listening to you talk about things and, you know, educating your fellow Hindu brothers here in America that can't get laid. Because let's be honest, Indian men cannot get laid. And that is one of the reasons why they're always so depressed. And some of them turn to alcohol, and some of them, you know, it's because they can't get fucking laid. And the solution is arranged marriage. It's a cultural tradition that is, it takes the fake love out of the necessity of, you know, work and family and all the good things in life.
Your problem is become difficult because the cute ones don't want to just arrange marriage to a loser. They want to chat if they're going to do it. And most of them are finding somebody anyway. It's more of a arranged dating. So you still have to be manly. You have to attract a woman. You can't give them a lecture about your job and expect them to drop their pants.
That doesn't work.
Yeah, that's what we try when we're at the low level. One friend, the person he's talking about was handing out his link and just hitting on girls and handing them LinkedIn, saying that he makes $300K. This is within 5 minutes of meeting them. So he thought that's appropriate, but he's never dated before. He's a virgin, and so you got to give some of these guys a pass. They just don't.
You know what's funny? I met this one dude a long time ago.
Toto Pagos is a good friend of mine. Come on up here.
Hey, I met this dude like a long time ago or whatever, and I guess I was his wingman because, like, for whatever reason, like I was like his DD or whatever at night, and freaking he got drunk and was talking to chicks in the nightclub, and he's a pilot, and he was getting shot down left and right. So his approach is just super stupid. Mm-hmm. But I mean, like over 6 foot tall, you know, like checked a lot of blocks, but just personality was like, just, you know, less than desirable, you know what I'm saying? He's a pilot, man. He had the fairly chiseled jaw, white guy, but he's just so socially awkward that it was like not very pleasing to the opposite sex.
Oh, fuck you, black guy.
What?
Yeah, I mean, height doesn't see people who are caught up on height, like T-Rob's here, maybe you, Carson. I don't know how tall you guys are, but I'm 6'3". What I'm saying is that height is one of those. Height is one of those bullshit things, like what Morale was saying. If you're a real man, height is completely irrelevant. It's insignificant. Look at Napoleon. I mean, could have fucked anybody he wanted.
I mean, yeah, but to a point, you are right. But I think some women will disqualify you. But I think it's like one of those things where it's like,
you need every woman. You really need every woman. As long as you get one, it's enough, right?
Wait, let me finish my statement first. What I think is it's one of those ones where it's like kind of self-filtering to where like you be like, oh well, she says this, and if you don't understand women, you know, you be like, oh well, she's all like, every woman.
That's what you sound like, bitch.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right.
Yeah, time to change.
Mr. Anderson.
That's right. Shut the fuck up, faggot.
Mr. Anderson.
That's right. You go too.
That's weird. You too. Or his dad was his.
That's right.
But
All you bitches. Okay.
She was dead to me.
That's right.
Oh, did you kick Gemini?
That's right.
Fuck that.
Why did you just clean out the room, man?
You're fucking lucky you're still here, bitch.
I don't care if you kick me out. That's the thing. I don't understand. What's part of the game then? Do it.
He licked my arsehole and he was dead to me.
We just got back from the nightclub. Haven't even been taking a shower yet.
Hey, bitch. Come on. No. Come on. Tell me. I'm missing my daily check-in.
Daily check-ins.
Have you updated your fucking John Kitover yet?
What? JohnKitover.com? Yeah.
Bro, you need to have them forward to a single forwarder, so you just update the one and it updates them all.
Oh, that's pretty smart, but it doesn't matter. I in my GoDaddy account, I have 250 domain names.
Weren't you doing that with your Tumblr?
Let me finish my statement. Let me finish my statement. I have 250 domain names in GoDaddy, and I have them all forwarded to x.com/Adrian Dittman, but all of them are set to not renew. So I got a call from like a GoDaddy exec saying they charge me $200 for their stupid GoDaddy membership club. So you pay a reduced fee of like $10 per domain. It is worth it, but I'm done with it. It's bullshit. I'm done working with GoDaddy. I'm done owning domain names, and I have a lot of good names, but I don't give a fuck anymore. Bye-bye. I'm Adrian Dittman now, and I don't have AdrianDittman.com registered with GoDaddy. I have it registered with Tumblr. I'm basically done.
I've used them for not 15 years, but close enough. Over 10 years. Dynadot, which there's no bullshit. It's just a good discounted rate, and if you spend over like $500 a year, then it gets even automatically. You don't have to ask anybody. It already goes on to
Who do you use?
Higher discount. Dynadot, it's called.
Dynadot, okay.
They're like one of the longest standing. They're a great service.
Jordan Gruber down there. Jordan Gruber.
It's like $11 to renew.com.
That's a good price. Jordan Gruber owns enlightenment.com, which is a great domain name. And he's recently published, the guy in the audience, Jordan, he recently published 2 books, or one of them is called Microdosing. And his website looks really good. But only the reason I'm bringing it up is because I told Jordan like last week about Tumblr and how he should develop enlightenment.com on Tumblr, because it's a free CMS, content management system. It's a free website, builder, and it's unlimited. Tumblr, and it's a social network on top of it. It's owned by Verizon. It's not going to go out of business as far as I know. So it's a good platform to build a content-based website on. And I'm sure there's a lot of plugins and stuff.
Limited with the design, huh?
There's lots of templates. You can purchase templates, but
is there?
Yeah, I've been using Tumblr for many, many years. To me, it's a very perfect and cheap solution to a complicated problem, because when I was building websites, I would just use an FTP and upload the fucking site to a server that cost me $3 a month, and I could upload as many sites as I wanted. They have changed the way I can, create my shitty websites by hand. Anyways, I used to do this in 2001. I was building websites, and I had a nice stream of income coming because I ranked for keywords like sponsorship. I was like top 5 for the term sponsorship in Google. My site was generating hundreds of dollars a day. But now I'm just focusing on Adrian Dittman.
Now she's dead to me.
Yeah, she's dead to me now. That source of income. Income.
Come in. Do not come.
It's kind of crazy. You have to basically invite them to come in to get the income.
That's right.
So the guy who invited me to this website, Todd, he has a new site. It's called paynow.com, and it's like a Bitcoin exchange marketplace. He invited me to this site, and I gave him 10 grand to own 50% of marijuanabusiness.com. He never did anything with it and just kept my money. So then I finally sent him a threatening text message, and he paid me back the 10 grand. But he's still on this website talking to web developers. And there are all these domainers that have, 100 domain names, 50 domain, 5,000 domain names, whatever. They're all sitting there paying for these large portfolios that generate no fucking money. It's a negative asset. Nobody even uses domain names. Like,
they're not assets, they're liabilities.
They're liabilities. And the thing is, why do you need a website now? Until you actually have like a functioning and successful Instagram or YouTube, etc., just work on building that shit out before you put up a .com and invest money in some stupid fucking website that no one's ever going to visit, because people are using the algorithm to discover what they're going to purchase. They're not searching like they used to. It's a different purchase cycle now.
Website is because they're going to get redirected anyway through your means of discovery. But people are trying to shortcut shit though, man. You know this.
There's only one shortcut. It's YouTube. If you want to do search engine optimization, you have to create videos about your keywords. That's it. You can't get ranked in Google. It's impossible.
Incorrect.
Even for a new site, you think you can actually get ranked for keywords competitively?
It took me about 18 months, but I'm on the page 1 of Google for my most important keywords in my most important business, and I outrank a unnamed multi-billion-pound company.
So how did you develop this?
On the day. Sometimes I'm position 2, sometimes I'm position 3. I've never made it to position 1.
What's the site built on? Just WordPress or what? PHP? What is it?
That website is built on WordPress.
Okay. I don't use WordPress, but I probably should.
No.
See, with Tumblr, you're never going to get traction. You'll never get indexed with Tumblr. And how did you?
You don't spend enough fucking time to. There's too much customization that's required, and the time that you need to invest in whatever, and you just need something you can like spray and pray on a lot of different things.
Well, I'm not going to I would like to get to your level where I actually zone in on a certain product or service and focus on those keywords and get recurring traffic, recurring business. But what did you do on the outside of your site other than, fully optimizing your site with the keywords? What do you do offsite? Like, how are you buying links, or how are you getting links? Like, what are you doing?
I'm not buying links. It's a platform. It's user-generated content, or it's automatically fed in, which is also user-generated, but they don't do it specifically on my site. So people upload content for me. So Google's seeing continuously, they're seeing continuously new, updated, and fresh content, which is a non-duplicate.
Wasn't Bella the name of Adolf Hitler's German Shepherd?
That would be amazing.
Oh wow! If that's the case, man, you've been doing a lot of reading, huh?
Blondie.
I was just kidding. I don't know.
It's like a subconscious thing. If that was the case,
it's a joke. But so that's interesting. So
hold up! Oh, he did. He won't go, Bella. Amazing. That's amazing.
So what you're?
Hitler loved animals, especially dogs. Yes. I'm assuming where did I just fucking read that?
That means you can't have.
They were in order. Listen. They were in order. I can't pronounce this one. Fuschel, Prince, Muckle, Blonda the Second, Blondie, Bella, and Wolf. Wow. That's amazing.
Wolf's a good name. I like that name.
So I agree with you that growing a site. Growing a site through user content and user profiles is like really, but how much did you pay, or how much have you invested with your developer to build out your site/platform?
The first version of the site was probably like 10 grand, but I built like roughly 25% or so of it. Since then, it's basically been a scratch rebuild, and I've written it myself. So there's no outlay cost, but an immense amount of time, years of time.
Well, that's a cost. Time. I mean, it's clearly time is money, meaning that. I mean, if you had to build it from scratch, I understand, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I had this one site called treasurefriendships.com, and it was supposed to be like a network or a marketplace to monetize your social media platforms. This was like back in 08, 07. And I paid these developers, I don't know, $5,000 to build the platform. And I was getting hundreds of new registered users a month, and people were submitting all their social media credentials, profile IDs, etc., looking for sponsorships or looking for marketing partnerships, whatever. It's just an index of people looking to monetize. I have this Indian friend that I grew up with named Taz Patel. He has this company called Captivate. And what they do is they're basically an agency for social media influencers and matching them with brands. And it's a big business. But, they were doing political stuff. They'll do anything. And anyways, he really made a lot of money off of that. It's, been bought out a couple times and whatnot. But it's called Captivate. And it's a marketplace for social influencers.
Bella, get going. What? I know you're excited. What about what?
What kind of dog do you have?
What? She is a Rhodesian Ridgeback.
Oh my God, those things are huge.
Yeah.
Big
strong girl.
I dated this girl that had 2 of them, and I was like,
oh, she's a big strong girl.
It's crazy. You see 2 Rhodesian Ridgebacks jump on your couch, and you're just like, oh, I don't have a couch anymore. Got to get a second couch.
It's like, oh, I don't have dude. You see when she steps on you, you know about it. Not right. You good girl. Paw. Good girl. Other paw. Good girl. Touch. 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 Good girl. There we go. You need? Take it. Good girl. Yeah, no, she's a fine specimen. She literally is the breed standard as well. I didn't plan this or whatever, but because I wanted a dog off this breeder, so literally like my local breeder, 10 miles away or so from me. But it turned out that a couple of months before I got her, for whatever she was even born, I suppose, her dad wanted us to breed in Crufts, so she's quite the specimen, aren't you?
You think you're talking to something smart? What you're really doing is talking to a big rat that wants to eat all the time.
No, but they're not.
She was dead to me.
They're not Labradors, and she actually sometimes doesn't finish her food. But dude, I'm not a dum-dum, all right?
You're not a dum-dum.
I've met
dum-dum.
in my life.
Dum-dum.
There are certain breeds of dogs that would agree with you. Like, I literally call them rats, right? Little ankle biters in particular. But particularly, let's say, collies, huskies, and like, I wouldn't say Bella is as smart as a collie, but she's incredibly intelligent.
Yeah, I know. I like dogs.
You couldn't teach her to do this, right? But I don't like my brother, for example. And the first time she met him, she barked at him, like she could sense whatever it is. And she taught herself how to open fucking doors. Like, it's when you see the things, when you struggle to teach them how to do things, right? You go through that process with them. Well, the struggle is more learning how that they learn, I suppose. Once you figure that out, it's much simpler. But realizing that when they learn things and pick up words on their own that you don't train them to, I always find that incredibly impressive. The association, you can't tell, right? But there's certain words.
It's like having a Pikachu. It's an extension of you, meaning that you project onto your dog but your dog becomes like a codependent, emotional parasite.
Oh, don't get me wrong. It's a parasitical relationship or whatever. I don't doubt it. Like she's an NPC kind of but the benefits outweigh the cost. Like I wouldn't.
No, I know. I get it. It's companionship. You know, it's basically having an automated dopamine drip anytime you want it.
One second. I was wrong place, man. Bro, I'll cherish this nugget of information forever. That's amazing. Hitler, Uncle Addy had a dog called Bella. That's amazing. Not the reason why, obviously. I didn't even know that. But this is it's on a multi-level.
Your dopamines are flaring now that you know that Adolf called his dog Bella. You're like, this is a coincidence. I can't believe it. It's a synchronicity.
It's synchronicity and symmetry and yes, all the fucking.
It was destiny that I called you Bella. Deep in my subconscious, I knew to call you Bella.
But what the fuck was I gonna say? Yeah, no, there's multiple aspects to it. You know, on one hand, yeah, you could say companionship or whatever. Now, did I consider myself lonely or whatever before? No, but like, there definitely is like a hole in my heart that is now filled that I didn't know was kind of missing. As gay as that fucking sounds, you know.
Yeah, but how do you know that that's not just hindsight?
I literally can't. I've had her. This will be her second Christmas. And that time has flown by, and I almost can't remember life without her now. It's kind of very, very strange.
It sounds to me that you are suffering from depression.
After you lost the girl who licked your arse, you haven't been able to match that dopamine feedback loop, so you went with a dog and put peanut butter on your cheeks.
That's right. But it's also like, it kind of more practically, it's kind of the same things. Like I have an electric sound desk. You know,
How much? Wait, your dog must eat 100 pounds of food a month.
No.
How much? 50 pounds of food?
She probably eats. I don't know. I've never weighed it. She eats raw food. So it comes frozen from the butchers, but it comes in like a huge.
You don't mix in dog food?
No, she literally eats raw meat.
Bro, you gotta give that dog supplementary fucking dog food.
Incorrect. They need supplementary organ meat on top of it.
You don't have a wolf. You have a dog.
That's right.
I'm just saying, for your sake of ownership, it makes your life a lot easier to supplement with some dry dog food.
That she's been eating it for over like a year, maybe 18 months.
Don't you know dog food is like crack to dog food?
Huh?
Just try. When was the last time you fed that dog dry dog food?
It was like a year ago. Yeah.
Man, you should fucking, I'm telling you. Anyways, whatever. I mean, do what you're going to do. I just feel bad for Bella.
Why? She's got zero health issues. She's incredibly healthy.
She's dead to me.
The breeder who I keep in contact with, we have like a small little group chat, and I'll post up photos of her. And firstly, the breeder adores Bella, A, because she's very local to her still. Secondly, well, primarily, that's a secondary issue. The primary thing was Bella kind of chose us, right? Like I brought my mom to when I.
You brought your mom?
And Bella basically was jumping up on my mom's knee, so she kind of chose my mom. Actually, she didn't even choose me. But so it was made it very simple. So I asked the breeder. I said, "Okay, how much we agreed for the purple girl?" And she said, "Okay, let me think about it," because the breeder kept not one but two puppies from that litter, and she was one male, one female. Sorry, one bitch. She was very specific. I kept saying, "No, I want a girl." You mean a bitch? She was just like she was about calling it. I was like, yeah. She was like, well, like if you want a bitch, it's this much. Like, Anyway, but listen to me, she's like a champion breeder. Like, what the fuck am I meant to say? Anyhow, Bella there was two girls that she was like on the fence. She didn't know which one she wanted to keep, and basically Bella was one of the two, and then she let me have Bella. Basically,
How much did you pay?
Either that, or it was a remarkably good sales pitch, or whatever. I suppose.
How much did you pay?
I don't think so. Because I chose her anyway. She told me that beforehand.
How much did you pay?
It was more than some cars I've driven.
Shut the fuck up.
Dude, she's a fucking like. Yes.
You paid $8 grand?
No, not that much.
Oh.
Yeah, you tell him you're worth it.
So I guess the big question is, does Bella bark when she sees a Keepa or a Schwartz?
Say that again. I can't hear you. She's whispering to me.
Does your dog bark when she sees a Keepa or a Schwartz?
Bro, they're literally, she hates niggers. Like, and the first time this happened, and I've heard this, but you don't know until you know, right? Like, I've adored the stuff. I've adored the breed and stuff, but I've never met one when they were like on red alert, right?
Yeah.
So when they go on red alert, they're ridged, so they have a stripe of hair along the top of their spine, which grows in the opposite direction. But when they're like on red alert, it stands up on end like a mohawk, right? It like and it actually partially goes up the back of their neck as well, which when they're not kind of like in that red alert state, that you don't see it. Anyway, but yeah, basically they have a dual purpose, right? So on one hand, they were bred.
They come out of Africa too, right?
Look, yeah, you tell them. Look at my PTR. That's Good girl. I know it's dinner time, isn't it? And there's dual purposes, right? So they were bred. Hey. You never make this much noise. What's
She
going on?
wants to eat. I told you live technically with a giant rat that wants to be fed all the time. And you are in a codependent parasympathetic relationship with a giant fucking rat.
Yeah, you tell me you're worth it.
She's dead to me.
You worth it? I'm looking at her so she won't say nothing.
So I dated.
I see that. I turned my head away. She did.
I was dating this very hot liberal Jewish chick, and she had.
Anyway, before you tell me, look at my PTR. This is from like a BBC article of the year 2000, right? That's a Ridgeback. Look what she's defending the family from.
Wow.
That's right. So I heard this.
I mean, that's not a real photo, right? That's just like a Photoshop.
That's from a BBC news article from the year 2000. It's a real photograph.
Really?
100%.
Well, that doesn't mean it's real necessarily.
That's right. That was before AI. Anyway, but I'd always been told, like, I've heard this, that they're racist or whatever. Bro, I was walking her in the city center. I know. I was waiting on like a takeout food I ordered, so I was just taking her like a lap up and down. And it's a really like student, the Queen's University area. And it's like fucking like literally Hillary Clinton is the fucking chancellor of the university, right? So like this Hillary Clinton fucking voter type, blonde, white, bimbo, fucking liberal girl was walking towards me with her basically half-caste but black boyfriend. And she's like, oh my god, your puppy's so cute, blah blah blah. Kind of like goes to pet Bella, and Bella loves her, whatever, blah blah. And the boyfriend puts his hand out to pet her, and Bella just like swerves him, just been like, nope. And it was the first time, just like straight away, just to be like, see her correctly, be 100% really assist, just be like, nope, like nigger's not touching me. And she did it. He went to put his hand out again into it, and she did the exact same thing. Like it was not a fucking accident. It was hilarious. Just I don't know. It made me smile.
Yeah, but I mean, to think that it's anyways, yeah. I mean, don't you think it's still just a fight or flight response?
There's been other instances, right? For example, like with a bunch of there's a guy who's like a Pakistani, and like she yeah.
No, but honestly, isn't it just a fight or flight response? Like they're just so aware, like they're conscious of their security. Like they know, like they're always, it's like a wolf instinct, It knows danger. It can detect possible danger.
Here's the thing. It's they're very protective, right? But not in an excessive or terribly like an aggressive way, like a staffy bull terrier or some kind of like they're at home they're like Labradors, very strong Labradors, but they incredibly strong. Like if someone, she won't even bark at other dogs. There was one time we were walking past like an apartment block, and there was a dog on the ground floor, all little ankle biters, right? And there was two in the next level floor, like the Americans would call that the second floor. So there's three dogs sitting yapping at her, and she like literally looks at them. Doesn't even bark. They're a very quiet breed. But when you hear her bark, that's her just the whimpering or whatever you heard there. That's not really her making any noise. If someone knocked the side door, or if she at 10 o'clock at night, if she heard a car door close, like you would hear. They're part of the hound group. Like she has a very deep set of lungs on her. So typically they're a very quiet breed, but when they bark, you know about it.
What I'm trying to say is that regardless of the breed, whether it's a Shih Tzu or a Rhodesian Ridgeback, all dogs exhibit and to demonstrate constantly the same exact patterns. It's basically security, protection, ingestion, defecation. Nah. They don't all have common ancestors. Nah. Dogs don't just do the same shit.
Have you ever met a pug?
Yeah, I've met a pug.
Okay, a pug versus like a working cocker or springer.
A working cocker spaniel.
You're talking about, or a German Shepherd, right? Is an absolute
working Germans. Right? We're not talking about the canine police. We're talking about dogs in a house. They want to fucking eat all the time. That's what I'm getting at.
No, they don't.
They fucking do. They're goddamn rats, and they want to eat the food in the kitchen 24/7. They're constantly working games to get more food out of your closet, out of your refrigerator.
That's right.
Can you hear me, Bella? Bite this limerick, bite this leprechaun's ankle, and go to the fridge, open it up, and get yourself your shylark.
I have went from feeding her twice a day to once a day because
once a day she's eating like Elon Musk and Peter Thiel.
That's right.
You've got your dog on a starvation diet. You truly are a concentration camp. You're a concentration camp guard. That's all you ever were in the Nazi. If you were ever in the Nazi Third Reich, you'd just be a concentration camp guard. That's all you'd ever be. You fucking Joe-hating leprechaun motherfucker!
That's right.
So, the thing about God, I know you don't like the Jews, but you see, in Kabbalah, dog is God. That's why Jews have dogs, but Muslims do not have dogs in their communities. Dogs are Jewish. So, you're closer to the Jews than you think.
Really?
Yeah, your dog is Jewish.
That's funny because the Rhodesians were anti-communist.
No, what I'm saying is dog is God backwards, and the word God is go do, and dog is do go. They're connected. It's a riddle.
They're like space aliens, bro. They're just connected. It's just like
yeah, Rhodesian Ridgebacks obviously were abducted by the aliens.
That's right.
I'm just doing a word game, but really it's a riddle for taking action versus just using words all the time.
That's right.
Maybe Ape here could use that because, when Ape, I don't know if you know this, Ape, but when you speak, people can barely even understand what you're saying. You have no inflection. I don't know, is it when you're at work, you're just like low voice?
Maybe that, but maybe it's Maybelline, maybe it's his microphone,
I'm just saying, if you can't
Maybe it's
communicate clearly on this app, how the fuck are you communicating clearly in the real world with people that you do transactions with?
He made you something. What do you see? Where is it?
No, I didn't know how to send it to him.
That's right.
I don't want to follow him back on anything. Just because you do when I follow you.
You're dead to me. You're fucking dead to me. I knew you were dead to me the moment you wouldn't follow me back. You're fucking dead to me. You're fucking dead to me.
No. I like you. I don't want my whole fucking timeline clogged up with your shit.
Your timeline? Your fucking timeline? You're such a loser. Fuck your timeline. No one fucking cares about your timeline. Your timeline is dead to me.
Find your phone.
Your timeline is dead to me.
Where's the second?
You fucking stupid losers don't even read books. You should join my book club where we read books to each other and become smart again. You losers have been talking about the Jews for so many years, you forgot that books even exist. You've gotten brain rot.
Look at Telegram, you faggot.
I can't. That phone is live streaming on YouTube right now. And we have one viewer. We want to thank whichever viewer you are, whoever you are, wherever you are. Your support matters. Go to our Patreon now.
I can set up a script to get you viewers automatically, just get that, pump up that view count.
Who cares? View count. I was doing TikTok for a year and recording all these live events throughout Chicago music performances. And you can, as a publisher, you're delusional. If you really even think that people are even watching your shit, and it's all just bots. So
Telegram is 100% artificially inflating numbers.
Yeah.
It's no way this many people. Now, are there a lot of people on it? But yes, but it's horse shit.
Well, if you still don't think, I think you owe me $10 because if you go to adriandittman.com, no, go to adriandittman.com. I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Adrian Dittman and fucking Elon Musk are not the same fucking person.
Go to my website adriandittman.com and look at my YouTube videos and you'll see Elon Musk playing the fool every night. I'm recording his unrecorded spaces. I mean, evidence.
Where did you post the one with the two things in the same time? Is it Maya or Diego chat? What the fuck is it?
I just put it on Twitter just now, so you can see it there. I don't know where it's.
Bro, yeah, I do follow you,
Yeah.
Are you fucking losers on X?
Look, I put the link in the chat.
What is your X handle? What's your X handles? If you won't follow me on Instagram, Louis60Y?
Yeah. What's up, Adrian?
Louis Goyer.
Look at it.
Asperger's agentic enthusiast. What? That's not even English.
No, that's gonna be part of it.
Oh my god! Oh my god! What in the fuck is this? What in the fuck is this?
Here, I'm gonna post the one of Sam. You'll love this.
What the fuck is this? Oh my god! You're getting a clover for that one.
Wait till you see the one of Tim here. Hold on.
What the fuck is this? You're doing it. You're my press agent. Oh, that's cool. That's like AI. You're doing AI on my face. Yeah. Holy fuck. The fuck is this?
Yeah, look at. Here, I just put
This is amazing. How did you do this?
Here, I'll send you the link to the, it's Poe.com. But it's a certain model on,
Why isn't there any audio though?
Well, because so this model is just a image to video generation model.
Damn.
So it's, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But you know, I think I actually have like an NPC face because I'm bald. You know, like I basically have like an NPC face, or like if you go on Snapchat and you build your emoji character, I'm just that totally naked white human body. So I should be easily created. I don't know. As a bald person, I feel like it's easy to manipulate images.
Well, I mean, I guess it's not, well, I guess by default, so yes, it does have to manipulate additional frames of images in order to turn it into a video.
But what I'm saying is, do you think bald people are entitled to reparations for having androgenic alopecia? Why isn't androgenic alopecia covered underneath the Social Security Disability Act? We're uglier than people that have to get haircuts. We're discriminated against.
I mean, the pretty privilege is probably the most privileged of all the privileges by far. Like, I'm being dead serious.
Look at the T-Drops one.
It's because Randy's always saying, I gotta get him a lucky coffee, dude. It's like he's constantly, he's Randallson.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do this with any famous person, right?
You can do it with any image. They do have moderation layers built on top of, like, so I know Poe has some sort of moderation layer that's built on top of all of the models that they're using the API on, but like also the models themselves. It's very difficult to find a truly uncensored model. I've come across a couple, but I don't have I mean, I guess I could run it on what I have, but it's just not worth it to me because the amount of like space that it would take up and how slow it would be because I just have like a Chromebook. But yeah, you can do it with basically any image, but there's going to be certain images that like obviously it's not going to. Like if someone's anything graphic, I'd imagine it'll get rejected. But there are ways around that if you wanted to. But yeah, it's going to be a big deal with the whole deepfake shit for porn. I guess it is an issue. I do think it is an issue. So
I saw something about some teacher yesterday that got arrested and sentenced. I don't remember what his sentencing was, but he took. I won't even mention it. I don't even want to say it.
Yeah, I already can guess whatever.
Yeah, he's basically doing pederasty, and using AI and stuff and taking photos of the students, like, just really.
This is one of those things where like I don't have a big social media footprint. I don't really want one, but like people really should like. Anyone who doesn't have kids now but moving forward ends up having kids, you really shouldn't be posting photos of your kids online. Period. For this reason. Because anyone that's already got one out there, like it is what it is. It's part of a bunch of training data sets for sure. There's nothing you can really do about it now. But yeah, like there's gonna be fucking creeps that are gonna take your child's image, and yeah, so it's like, yeah. And I don't know how I feel about the whole. Obviously, with anything with that, I'm against it. But like, I think Japan recently basically said that like anything you can connect to on the internet is free grabs for these companies that want to use. It's basically scrape everything for data that there's no like copyright. I don't know exactly how they worded it, but it basically gave protections for AI companies. I don't know. I'm for that only in the context of AI, but then that opens up a whole nother set of paths where, like, at some point, then like this actually specifically due to the ability of being able to just scrape everyone's data. That's where they're going to reap their benefits in the long run. So I don't know. It's very going to be in the next 10 years are going to be pretty wild, and I don't think anyone really, for the most part, sees like.
So I'm using this.
Coming.
I'm using this website, I don't understand how to like use it though. Like, how do I take an image and make it into a video?
So here, let me see if you. So one, go to the Explore, and then it should pull up like a tab where you can filter by models. You're gonna want to go on the audio and video one, and the Hailu. Yeah. Okay. So you would have to get the subscription because that model that I used. It says it doesn't require.
You're paying for this?
Access. Yeah, this is one that I probably will never get rid of. It's $20 a month, and it works on a point system.
Yeah, what the fuck is this? What the fuck?
It gives you access to basically all of the top AI models all in one spot.
It's $20 a month. You're paying for this? You don't even have a job.
Nigga, I just got off work. What are you talking about?
But is it really worth it for $20 a month to sit there and create these little artistic shit?
No, I don't use it for that. That's just like a funny thing because they recently added them. I don't fuck around with like the video and image stuff. It doesn't really interest me.
But what have you done with it that you've actually, made more than $20 a month doing other than like creating content, like, and you're not even posting it, right? Like, what are you doing with this?
This AI just completely fascinates me, and I don't feel like going down the discussion of like, oh well, if it's not adding to your life, then what are you doing?
I know, but can't you think about something that, like, look at T-Rubs, like he's built a platform. Why aren't you like using this content to contribute to his platform, to a platform, to build something for yourself that you can monetize through doing sales or advertising?
Yeah, well, that's kind of actually, dude, fucking echo, bro. Yeah, I very much do want to actually do that. I've been working on a couple different things. That I'm surprised how little all of I don't know if it sounds like you haven't gone down this hole, but with regards to AI and like the sales industry, for lack of a better term, all of the stuff out there that's incorporating AI, like they are to some extent, is kind of all a bunch of bullshit. Like there's not like an actual thing that I've come across with AI other than like being like, okay, just click one thing and the email will get automatically fucking generated. Even then, it's very templated, but I think there's a huge opportunity in that area. So yeah, I'm using it for all kinds of different things. But the thing that's very interesting is these models are all very different, dude. They're very, very different. It's not a one that like you have the retards out there that will like put in like a stupid question, and they're basing like whatever the answer. Dude, mute up when you're not talking because I can't. The echo is fucking retarded.
Oh.
Damn, I sound sexy. Holy shit. Yeah, like people like Randy, who's not a retard, but in many ways he is, will like ask it one question and then like base the whole fucking the whole model, the whole concept of AI will be judged on that one output. But yeah, the models are very different. They all have like their own sort of unique strengths that they're good at, bad at, etc. But any individual model in itself, the way that you communicate with it, the way that you instruct it, it matters significantly. It's night and day, and that's what I kind of fell into the autistic rabbit hole of, at least for the first like 9 months when GPT-4, 3.5, and then it got to 4 was kind of like, at least for someone very new to it, was like the only AI model out there, and that's where I really got like just hooked and fascinated because the level of output that you could get these models to do is actually fucking incredible. But you do have to like know kind of how to work them a little bit. So it's fascinating.
Yeah, I'd like to see. I mean, I can Google it, but like, what are the 10 most common prompts or commands? And yesterday, I heard somebody on this app talking about Excel workbooks, and the worksheets or pages within an Excel document, the tabs, and how he was saying that AI can't do these complicated, crossover tab functionalities. And people live and die by Excel sheets, in big business. And so they're saying that there's like major limitations with that. But Poe I've never seen it, and there's so many platforms now. And have you used Copilot? Because that's the only real AI generator, that and Grok. But like Copilot to me was pretty cool. And the
You're talking about in GitHub Copilot or
Microsoft Copilot, yeah.
I hated that one, bro.
I was creating all this amazing art, and I was posting it to X, and guess who decided to delete my X account? Elon Musk, aka Adrian Dittman.
Yeah. Well, I probably deleted it from. Why did you get clips off that specific?
I saved all my images that I created, but because I was tagging New York Times and saying, hey, write an article because Elon Musk is Adrian Dittman. Adrian Dittman is Elon Musk's pen name burner account. And every night he's going on unrecorded chats. Here are all the videos. Go to adriandittman.com. So on one of his lives, he's like, our fucking resident retard was trying to dox me to the New York Times, and I'm sorry, I had to suspend your account. I hate suspending accounts. I just like to block, but unfortunately, yeah, fuck you, man.
That's a pretty good impression, actually. Yeah, see, I find it interesting that even when you do the impression of Dittman, it's slightly different than an impression you would do of Elon, because there's a distinct difference between those two. You just gave him a way, like a noticeable sort of like European, I'm not good with accents, but not South African or whatever the fuck Elon said. But yeah, I did not like Copilot at all. Dude, it just fucking refused to, it would refuse way too much shit, man. There was absolutely no need for one of the things I do enjoy is I like pushing the limits of I want to find out where the model is kind of okay, it won't do this. But I wasn't even trying to do that half the time with it. I was just trying to just prompt something because they were talking it up pretty big, and I figured Microsoft, whatever, they integrated it with X, Y, and Z. And dude, it was literally useless to me. I even paid the $20 one month to see what was up with it. But yeah, I'm surprised if you can think of the exact thing that guy was saying. I'm not super familiar with Excel, but I'd be interested to try and see, because from the way you made it sound, what he said, I find it very hard to believe that you couldn't get a model to do really anything in Excel that Excel's capable of doing.
Well, he's saying it's tab to tab to tab, because I know you probably haven't done I can't do these things myself, but I've been in positions where I've had finance or a data science analytics team send me Excel spreadsheets that were not auto-generated, but were built by hand using very complicated formulas. And they go tab to tab to tab. And my recent job, it was all about cost estimation. And so whoever built these fucking Excel spreadsheets are very smart people. Yeah. Anyways,
very fine people.
And this is what I wanted to tell you was, so when I was using Copilot, I was creating these awesome images of major cities. And so my point is, if you were a printer or a photo enlarger, or you did photo printing, you could print these awesome AI image generated photos and sell them for $29.99 and put them in a dollar store frame. The printing business, the art business, is a real business. And AI allows you to do really awesome prints and to sell those prints on many different platforms, eBay, etc. Yeah. So it's a good business, and you could probably, within a couple months, you could probably start making a couple $1,000s printing and shipping.
And you'll still be a broke ass bitch.
I mean, see, T-Robs is a little smarter than us if he can actually code, but the fact that he has a platform and he's in a paperless business, and while my dumbass is trying to print and ship shit, like I need to build up enough revenue again so I can experiment in trying to build a platform and outsourcing development to build some type of marketplace.
Listen, in the beginning,
Here comes
I'm not worthy. Let's just say, like, I didn't inherit it, right? But like, I procured an asset, a domain name, which like vastly, punches above its weight, and I was probably not worthy of. Yeah, fuck it. So that's the hack, right? So like, it's like buying oceanfront property, and you can bid on it later, or knock it down and build something again, redevelop it, but like it can't be replaced. So the location or whatever in this instance of the property is going to vastly. Your marketing spend is going to go further, right? Your name recognition is going to go for it. Everything's going to. It's like the wind's going to be at your back, basically.
I know, but like I'm trying to come up with like simple solutions like printing and shipping, as opposed to doing a complicated WordPress operation that requires SEO, requires content, requires functionality.
SEO. WordPress is like SEO friendly by default. That's the kind of nature of it.
I know, but you have a successful ongoing venture. You should be able to write a blueprint for me and Ape here and say, this is what I have going on. This is the mirror. This is the parallel. This is the clone. Just clone this and this will be successful. Like cloning.
It's not like there's no. What I could give you is stuff that just like already exists, but. It's not about the model. It's not about the thing. It's not the strategy. Like the biggest issue anything has, right? Like for example, you could have an exact clone, word for word, line of code for line of code for Twitter. You could have absolutely the exact same technology. In fact, your technology. Your product could be better than them, right? But if a tree falls in the woods and there's no one to hear it, does it make a sound, right? You could have the best product in the world, and if no one actually shows up, it's irrelevant, right? So the most important thing is how are you going to inject momentum into it? How are you going to get it going to get the snowball rolling down the hill, so where it starts compounding and building on itself? That's the most important thing. Actually, it's adoption. The product can be inferior, but if you can get people to use it, you can work with it. You can develop as you go. So it's not about. There's no new strategy. There's no new model under the sun. Really. The thing is, you should be more focused on how you're going to get. No one wants to walk into an empty restaurant. How do you make it appear like your restaurant is busy so that you literally attract others and actually make it busy?
I prefer the North Korean method. You just pay people to be in there, looking like they're enjoying themselves.
Dude, that's what fucking hoes are for, bro. That's what.
You gotta wonder, like, if the stuff they say about North Korea is true.
Like, free guest list, come to the nightclub, blah blah blah. It's just like they're really getting paid to like fucking show up so that like Johns show up, not John as in John Kitover, but Johns, right? And they think they're gonna get a piece of that ass.
That's right. Look, the temptation of the potentiality of getting a piece of some ass is the thing that makes the world move, dude.
That's right.
I'm telling you.
That's right. So ask not what your product can do for the world. Ask what the world can do for your product. No, but you gotta have a strategy of getting people to actually. What's your traffic strategy?
making Clubhouse accounts.
How's that working out for you?
I don't know what his traffic strategy is. I will say this: when I was gonna send him the video that he saw, I went to Instagram and he made all can do this and this would be very simple. But so many things came up when I hashtagged his name. I'm not really familiar with Instagram now at first. So yeah, I didn't send it because I was like, oh, there's a sea of things here. He might not even see it. I don't get why you do what you do. Did you do it? And I don't know. Maybe there's some insight that you saying back in 2001 when you were building it. Because to me, it's. I mean, I worked for GoDaddy, for Yelp. I'm somewhat familiar with like sort of the SEO, kind of to an extent, and CBC and marketing. But to me, it seems like like you are maybe stuck in 2004 with the shit that you're. Exactly.
He's like, you know those, have you not seen this like Facebook group that kind of does the rounds? It's called 04 Rich. And everyone's just like, oh, you know, it's like, it's got like a 2004 S-Class and a 2004 Range Rover. It's like, or there's another one called Recession Rich, which is like people that got money around 08, right? But John's hung around too many people that made it then, and then like thinks that, I don't know what, that can still be emulated or whatever. And yeah, it can.
Well, I have this judgment against me now for $300,000. So I have this judgment against me for $300,000. So I'm going to have to file Chapter 13 bankruptcy and go into like a repayment plan.
Bro, you've been talking about this for like a year or two.
I know. And but what I'm saying is, look at Snapchat, for example. It's a marketplace. It's an advertising marketplace with 100 million, 300 million users or more. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, to ever even think that you could even build a business that big with all the overhead, like, you're insane. I mean, you can dream big, but just having little tiny scratch to survive, like, it takes action, and I mean look, they're about to get rid of TikTok in America. They might make ByteDance sell TikTok to Steve Mnuchin and an investment group, and I think they're crazy. Like, to separate TikTok from global TikTok is impossible, because it's basically just a network of advertisers and content creators. So, like, people, they want one thing, but they don't realize that you can't want what is not possible, because the paradigm now is what works, and changing it will not work. So I don't know. I mean, I just know people that have pre-existing .com concerns, like app.com, Apt Electronics, like they're making $1 billion a year. You can't compete with that. You can't even try to compete with that. You have to find some type of arbitrage, some type of niche, and just make a little bit of cream cheese. But I don't know. I would love to grow a big business in my life, but I don't think it's possible.
You're trying to solve 50 things at once, so you need to focus on one thing. You're like, well, if I just made, $150 off this thing and $150 off that thing, and next thing you know, I'll have like fucking I'll have 15 grand a month or something, right? Like, if you just focus on the one fucking thing, you're like 1,000 times more likely to actually get it to that point. Like, there's a domain name investor that I know, and he's just happy. He used to call it like $8 a year or whatever it was, right? Obviously, it's not over 10, and even on the biggest bulk plans. That's why Dynadot at 11 is pretty good for the .com renewal. He didn't care if his domain names, like, quote unquote, made any real money. They just had to make their renewal. Yeah. And that's all that guy ever makes is the renewals. So he's doing all this fucking work just to renew these fucking domains. So technically it doesn't cost him any money, but it costs him a lot of time, right? And if he just put all that fucking effort into developing one fucking thing, he'd probably make it a success. But is divided attention gets them nowhere.
I know, but what I'm saying is developing how is developing a .com that no one's going to visit even comparable to some fucking whore that shakes her ass and has 15 million subscribers? Like, my fucking brand.
Bro, what it's fucking telling you is that you're providing the marketplace with nothing of value. That if even with a great .com name, right, that some fucking no-name whore without a website can generate more funds, is what that means, is what you're shilling, what you're offering, what you're selling, the market ain't buying.
Well, I'm not actually in operations, and I'm not doing anything other than Adrian Dittman right now.
What the fuck are you even doing with it? Look, it's humbling, right? To most people have focus initially on trying to sell. They're trying to sell the way they want to sell, and they don't focus on selling the way that consumers want to buy. You're not really thinking about what they want. You're thinking about what you want.
I'm not thinking about anything. I'm drinking Miller High Life and smoking weed. I might go have another coffee before I go to the gym.
Not only is it bad enough that you drink Miller High Life, but you fucking drink it with orange juice.
That's right. I know some leprechauns at an Irish pub here in Chicago. They told me that's how the white trash Irish drink it. And I said, well, put a little OJ in my Miller High Life.
I think, didn't that just overtake, I don't know, Bud Light or something for the most popular beer in America now?
Most likely.
As far as, sales go?
It's $9 for a 12-pack. $9 each bottle, in my opinion, is worth at least $1. They're crazy. They're selling themselves short $3 on every case.
If it was worth $1, if every clubhouse fucking opinion I ever made was worth $1, it would be.
Every fucking if I got $1 for every room I've been in on Clubhouse, not even opinions, I'd be a fucking millionaire already. But I'm not. Just because I talk with a millionaire doesn't make me a rich man.
Just think how much collectively you've caused the fucking tech giants from your hours.
Well, that's the thing, is it's all subsidized by the government.
Never mind the hardware cost. The sheer electricity cost required.
Listen, you know how much shit I live stream?
It's an absolute loss.
Listen, I use AT&T. Why hasn't somebody from AT&T called me yet and said, you've uploaded 2,000 terabytes and we're kind of pissed. We thought that was like your whole neighborhood. No, it was just you. How many cell phones do you have, Mr. Kitover? No,
I'd be curious.
No, I've never logged into AT&T to check it.
Doesn't your shit just get retardedly slow though?
No.
Really?
No, AT&T is fiber optic. Cable is terrible. I was using Comcast, and man, oh my God, I changed to AT&T. I have not had an internet interruption ever. Comcast, I was having interruptions daily. Comcast was terrible. AT&T is like high quality business to business IT. Like,
is AT&T like the equivalent of like what we call BT, right? Like they are the default national carrier.
Yeah, they're the original.
Yeah.
They're the original. They're the oldest and the biggest. I mean, they're not, in America we have Verizon, AT&T, Comcast, Charter Communications. Who else do we have? But those are the big four telecom in America. And then we have like 10 little providers that basically license spectrum from them. So all these burner accounts that I've been creating are done using TracFone, which operates off of Sprint. So they're basically, they're just basically brokers of telecom. But these cell phones, this is the thing about all these manufacturers, why they have to get out of the hardware industry, is because the cell phones have peaked. A $50 cell phone is as good as a $1,000 cell phone. There's no differentiation in a store anymore. A $250 phone is as good as the $1,500 phone. So it's, what are we using the phones for? It's not just like an investment or an asset. It's like, what are you going to use the phone for?
Well, the memory on it is, I think, the biggest thing now. Like how many gigs it has.
Yeah, that is a huge thing, and that's not going up.
$1,500. Have you ever seen the fucking video where the guy in the fucking like Schengen, what's the fucking word? Yes, Schengen. No,
Shine.
That's the fucking name. No, what's the name?
Shane.
Whatever. There's this fucking like hardware market they go to in China,
Mm-hmm.
and basically the guy puts like a 1 terabyte chip from an iPad into his phone, right? So it's not an official supported Apple model or whatever, but like it works. And it was like $30 or something, right? So that's just artificially.
Wow. That's amazing.
It's just artificially inflating the prices, right, to differentiate it, and they know people will pay for it.
Yeah, but you can't. I mean, to find somebody to
ultimately, it's like jewelry, right? Like the handbags in the world are like good enough, right? And the $2,000 handbag, the $5,000 handbag does exactly as much as the $20 fucking handbag at this point, right? It just is more exclusive or more decorative or made with slightly more.
Well, it's psychological then.
The functionality, right?
It's a psychological platform. It's a psychological platform. They want you to renew annually because you're being marketed to.
Didn't have all the functionality of the more expensive phones. Now the cheapest phones still have access to the same app stores. They will download the same apps. They still have cameras.
And look at Poe. Look at Ape's website, Poe. That's not even on. That's not hardware. That's all done through a fucking website. So the cloud, in many ways, is pairing perfectly with these high-end phones. But the functionality, the usage of the phone, it's like we're already using the most advanced software that could possibly be created, free telephony. Like how you see what I'm saying? Like how is Apple and Microsoft and Google and all these hardware manufacturers, it's peak. It's already peak. And I'm 42. And all these younger people are all sick from these cell phones because they're addicted to them and it's given them brain rot. They haven't read a book in 20 years. I'm addicted, but you got to look at this as a generational crisis. They say the average Harvard graduate only reads one book by the time they graduate undergrad at Harvard. One book. One fucking book. Look, Google it. That was a recent news headline.
Like 90% of the value of a quote Harvard education is being accepted into Harvard. It's not even graduating. How many people, Mark Zuckerberg or whatever the likes, obviously they went on to go and become very wealthy individuals, but being able, the admission process itself is the credibility. It's not about like what the.
No, yeah, I understand that. I get it. But you got to understand there's a lot of DEI hires that come out of Harvard, Princeton, Yale that aren't worth their weight. And they're just DEI people who are there because they're black. So, but an Asian doesn't get DEI preference in the way that an ADOS does. So.
No, they get DEI discrimination.
Oh, it's so funny how retarded Americans have become.
Yeah, I think America is
because of the Jew.
Oh, there you go. That's the next level derangement where you actually think there's something called Jew. I mean, have you been to Israel and hung out with what they call themselves as Jew? A Jew in America versus a Jew in Israel are like two entirely different things.
Okay,
completely and entirely. No, what I'm saying is that if you speak Hebrew, you are not a Jew. You're a Hebrew. That language is called Hebrew, right?
What about Khazarian?
Who's Khazarian? The Khazarian.
What is that? I keep hearing that. What is that? Who is that?
That's right.
Are you talking Dan Bilzerian? Because he is a fucking rabid Jew hater. He is a serious fucking instigator of hate. That guy fucking hates the J.
And it's feeling me.
You're just like a testicle hair in terms of Dan Bilzerian Jew hate propaganda and distribution. Bilzerian, see, that's the thing is you'll never be like Bilzerian.
No,
I'll never be like Bilzerian.
I was actually just listening to Oliver Stone's son, Sean Stone, who has been on this app a couple of times before, and he also mentioned this keyword in the podcast.
Keyword called what? Khazarian?
How the fuck do you spell it?
Khazarian? Khaz, Khaz, Aryan, Arian, Khazarian.
Yeah, that's what I typed in. The Khazars were a nomadic Turkic people who formed a powerful empire in the Iron Age. That's right.
Turkic during the Iron Age.
Judaism in the 8th century. The Khazars' empire covered parts of modern-day Russia, Ukraine, Crimea, and Kazakhstan. The Khazars were a confederate of tribes from the Caucasus, including Slavic, Scythian, Hungaric, and Bulgar.
Wait, before you go on any further, you do realize that if it's true and it's not a conspiracy theory, then people cannot use the term the Khazarian conspiracy. They just have to say, you guys are ancient Khazars from the Iron Age, and you are the descendants of these people who are now doing genocide, apartheid, and neo-colonization. So, I mean, the chances that it is like a lineage and it's historically documented that the people doing what they're doing in Israel, like these people speaking Hebrew, are not the originals but are fakes. I mean, even if that's...
You mean like that Polish guy, Netanyahu?
The point is, even if that's true, it doesn't make a difference. They're the ones in charge. They're the ones doing it. Like,
Israelis are the anti-Semitic ones, bro. They're literally killing the fucking Semitic people, the Palestinians.
Listen, have you seen some of the Israeli soldiers that have died in combat? They look like they came out of an assisted living facility for people with Down syndrome, okay? I mean,
no, better than that, bro. Listen, you need to look at Telegram. Have you never seen all the people with Down syndrome in IDF uniforms?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
It's sad. Like, have you seen the fat bitch the size of a bus in a fucking IDF uniform?
Listen, the Israelis...
Like, everyone was like, that's big. Oh, that girl Elle was like, it's big. I'm like, bitch, she's doing a TikTok dance. I'll show you the video if you want.
But T-Robs, I've seen your picture. You're not that far away from a Down syndrome person yourself. I mean, that's why you're in love with a Rhodesian Ridgeback, because no woman in her right mind could possibly look at your face and say, I don't want to have kids with him. He looks like he's close to Down syndrome genetics.
That's why there's a beautiful California girl on this app begging me to have babies.
California girl? Why can't you find a girl in Northern Ireland who's capable of breeding with you and having children? I'm serious. There's so many hot Irish chicks. Why can't you fucking land yourself why can't you?
I want to eventually be in the fucking US, what, faggot? That's what.
Oh, really? Is it that bad there? What about Dublin? Why don't you just move to Dublin?
Definitely not. No.
Why can't you get a big tech job in Dublin working for Google?
Ireland's not a real country, bro. It's... Yeah, what the fuck would you want to live in?
What do you think about that prime minister?
What the fuck are you living in Ireland?
What do you think about the prime minister there? Did you see the prime minister going on a Jew hate tirade 2 days ago? He started saying how the Irish people stand. Anyways, you guys have a leprechaun for your, like a real leprechaun, you know? I mean, something out of a movie. He wears like a green.
He's a faggot. I don't know who you're talking about, but there's no leprechaun in fucking Irish.
He looks like you, but he's old and bald.
This was a tweet that I had to see it because it was good. There has never been an independent Ireland. Ireland, quote, was created by the British, supported by Catholic terrorism, and maintained by American dollars. Ireland is not a real country.
I know, that's why they say the Irish are the N-words of the British Isles. You guys are the N-words of the British Isles. You're the N-word of the white people in the island chains. You hear me? You and your Rhodesian Ridgeback. That's why your dog likes you, because you're a white N-word. You're a liar. Your dog hates you deep down. I can feel the pain and suffering in that dog. You're only feeding it fucking raw meat once a day. Never giving it any dry dog food.
Irish Times, nigga. Irish.
Bella, do you hear me? I give you permission. Rip his throat out and go get yourself some dry food. Open the front door.
Irish naval ships may have to deploy unarmed down to a single technician.
Ramming speed!
Service the ship's guns before a vessel goes out on patrol. Motherfucker, Ireland sends fucking toy soldiers, right, with fucking empty ships, which can't do shit. They're not even a part of NATO.
Did you know? Did you know in World War II?
Who wants to put a fucking bear bomber over the top of Dublin? It's the fucking Royal Air Force coming to their fucking.
Did you know in World War II the English they had the Irish go out in their battleships and just do ramming operations, and they had no ammunition, so they were literally using the Irish to do suicide runs because they didn't give a shit about the Irish. Isn't that amazing?
That doesn't even what? Ireland was neutral in World War II?
No, that's not true. Look it up. Google it. Did the English use the Irish as suicide bombers during World War II because they didn't value the Irish blood because they're racists and you can't give any land to the Irish?
Yeah, this doesn't make sense. I've never heard this before in my life. Yeah, you're gonna have to PTR the Chris bitch.
So have you ever seen the movie Blazing Saddles?
There's no documented evidence to suggest that the Irish Navy deliberately rammed any ships during World War II. The Navy's small fleet, mainly torpedo boats and other patrol vessels, was neither equipped nor intended to engage in direct combat with larger ships. Their primary mission was to deter incursions into Irish waters and monitor any violations of neutrality. Notable instances: neutrality patrols. Irish naval vessels occasionally escorted or intercepted foreign ships that entered Irish waters and ensuring that neutrality was respected.
Listen to this.
Anyway, it's fake news, bro.
All right, we'll give some land to the niggers and the chinks, but we don't want the Irish.
We don't want the Irish! So are you telling, this is why the Irish are so aligned with the Palestinians, because you guys are technically the same N-words, the same parasites. And, you know.
They're lined up. Well, that's assuming the Palestinians are parasites. But
I'm being facetious.
It's shared, you know, it's one struggle, shared fucking oppression, blah, 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 you know, like, it's solidarity with other occupied people or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, that's their view.
Well, the thing is, the Irish
never hurt nobody.
The Irish have been getting fucked over by English kings, you know, forever, for 1,500 years.
Literally everything that Ireland is today could not be possible if it was not the fact that they were everything they have and benefit from comes from their British origins. Dude, they don't even speak their own fucking language.
But we don't want the Irish.
The only benefit that they have, which it's not just the tax fucking regime. Bulgaria has cheap fucking taxes, bro. But there's an English-speaking fucking nation on the edge of Europe that allows them favorable tax laws and a high-quality talent pool for all of these fucking tech companies. Bulgaria has a fucking lower rates of taxation, but you don't see these tech companies in Bulgaria.
See an enormous number of like cars that like plow into the car in front of them, and
that's amazing. That big Jew motherfucker. What's that guy's name? I forgot it. He's got like 20 different accounts.
Yeah. So
I think his name used to be
Clubhouse.
Heckham have been in 2 accidents while he been on Clubhouse. So this account is called Clubhouse Podcast Scam, and one of the guys on this app, Chris, is live streaming all of these rooms now onto Clubhouse. It's amazing. I don't even have to do it anymore. He's doing it all for me. You want the link?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, you're a laser focused leprechaun. I understand.
That's right. See, Lou doesn't understand this concept. I'm very comfortable not knowing things or not. Like, I'm just like, I don't need to know. I'm good.
That's not, no. That's right. In relation to peanut butter, like, it's a weird thing that
dude, it's in
comfortable about not knowing. Oh my god.
Listen, this nigger gets it. Laser focus. What does focus mean? Focus means saying no.
But what does focus? What does that have to do with peanut butter, dude?
Focus, nigger.
We'll give land to the cheeks and the N-words, but we won't give any land to the Irish.
Is that an AI or is it a real clip?
Yeah, that's from the movie Blazing Saddles.
Oh, that's so good.
All right, everybody, I want to thank you for coming to the stand-up comedy room. This has been Irish Leprechaun. I am funny, and I hope you enjoyed the room.
That's right. I've been refining my scraping techniques. Have you ever done that? If you can't build a board, you've not done any internet. Have you ever? No. Have you ever scraped any websites?
Yeah, I have. I was scraping the yellow pages when you were just in fucking baby underpants. Little fucking leprechaun motherfucker.
I mean, the one benefit, if you're driving a Suburban, not only do you make maybe more money, but if you're driving a Suburban...
I'm the only person with a party hat on in the room. So this app is dead. This app is fucking dead.
Everyone should look into
no new users.
Some of it is the energy that is transferred into your cabin during the accident. I mean, every Tesla is a 5-star rated front and back crash.
So Zenimini is the burner account.
There's no motor in the front. It's giant compass.
Yeah, I would love if someone, I don't want to derail the room with my safety obsession, but if someone could give a credible comparison of the safety of a Suburban versus the safety of a Tesla Model Y, I'd be very interested in seeing that. I know the Y is the safest possible vehicle, but I don't know whether the Suburban size advantage is enough.
Right. Safety, right? If you've got a 6,500-pound vehicle versus a 4,100-pound vehicle, and the height too of the bumper, if there's a mismatch.
Here's a question: Is the Cybertruck the safest vehicle on the road now?
You know what?
Is it self-driving?
I would bet money that the Cybertruck is the safest vehicle in America by far, but I think it's too new to have been tested. But I want to hear.
Right. I am shocked.
What is it with these nasally fucking whiny dudes?
You sound like a nasally, whiny leprechaun Irishman. What's the difference? I told you you're Jewish, otherwise your Rhodesian Ridgeback would have ripped your fucking throat out already.
With self-driving, I would think. I can't think of a safer vehicle.
It's true. We would cut highway deaths by half if everyone drove.
We would cut highway deaths. I hate all these people. They're all... The worst thing is I'm just like them. And so are you, T-Rubs. You sit here and you listen to them talking about nothing while these fat fucks are sitting in their house doing nothing with their fucking lives. Just sitting here talking about the fucking news. That's it, T-Rubs. Everybody's got a pussy on this end. And I'm gonna fuck them all. And you can watch me torture an entire city.
Are you still talking to yourself?
It's sort of a real temporary problem.
Hello?
All experts agree that in 25 years, humans won't be allowed to drive the vehicle. So if you can make it to 25 years from now, you know, the highway...
If you can make it 25 years from now. You're really projecting. People are trying to figure out what's going to happen 25 years from now instead of trying to figure out what's happening right now.
That's not fucking evidence or Domingo or whatever your name is. It's Swiss Re is a reinsurance company. I know because I used to consult
Ooh.
Those are advertisements. Those are shit we make up in the claims area. We take a subset of data, cherry pick at it, stretch it, wrap it around, and then slap it in an
Oh my god, is that Brad?
It's fucking Brad.
We're either the biggest fucking...
He's the one who got out of your shithole island country and made it big in finance, in insurance and reinsurance.
What the fuck are you talking
He's German!
His surname's like Count.
You and then having to actually acknowledge and do some of that shit. And you do this...
Ask him what his fucking surname is.
Brad, what's your surname, Count Deloof?
In season 1, maybe
Season 1 and Season 2 of Clubhouse? I thought you had a fucking job, Brad.
And you haven't. You posted a reinsurance conglomerate's marketing fucking tool. You know how I know this? Because I've worked with them and I've done the same damn thing.
Works in reinsurance.
Well, I appreciate your comments, Brad. I'll let everyone in the room look at it and decide whether you're the retard or I am. People can read it.
Brad, tell them how you really feel.
Hey, Heckema, don't get into a car accident while you're driving your fucking Uber.
Well, all you have to do is just go look up. It's Swiss Re, which is a reinsurance company. What is a reinsurance company? They're the backers for large-scale losses, large markets.
Right, if you're going with that other room, get the fuck in that other room. I don't listen to this shit.
Well, then I guess you're gonna be by all yourselves with Ape, and you guys can talk about AI and Poe.
Which is why Medicare for all wouldn't really work, because again, all those people on Capitol Hill saying we need Medicare for all don't fucking understand insurance, because that company exists along with millions of others for the very reason to back up a large-scale insurance company. So when Geico gets a massive hit in a quarter or a year, Swiss Re comes in and says, "Hey, you know those premiums you've been paying for us? We're going to cover
Hurrah!
so you don't fail."
Hurrah!
Adrian, ask Brad what he should have
did at the time. He was posting one of those marketing things.
Brad, I got a question from the Leprechaun Gallery. When are you gonna pay Diogenes his $1,000 fucking Brad?
This is what happens on Clubhouse, and I hate it all the time. People fucking cherry pick shit they have no knowledge of doing, and then say, "Here's my fucking proof," and you can read it in the chat, and then you look at it, and it's just the most retarded thing I've ever.
So, Brad, I mean, you, at best, you have...
Oh, look, it's Agent Malone. Double Agent Malone.
Oh, I think that's like it's spicy.
You haven't, so maybe you could say he needs to
like
back up his argument a bit more, but you haven't in no way actually attacked his argument.
Double Agent Malone.
Anything contrary, any counter.
Neo in the Matrix.
I'll throw you. So his evidence is a marketing catalog from Swiss Re. That's his evidence that self-driving cars are going to be the future, and they're safer and everything else. And he put that up there. And yes, we did take, there is data that's pulled and stretched and again wrapped around to make fucking dipshits like him buy into this idea that there's going to be this market, because guess what? There isn't a huge market share. And the reinsurance companies see an opportunity.
Okay, I can't even listen to this anymore. I can't even fucking listen to this stupidity anymore. I hate them all. I fucking hate them all, and that's why I hate them all.
You realize that since we last spoke, won another bet where I've taken money from the Jews and already been paid in Bitcoin. But I need you to help troll El Normo with me, because that motherfucker legitimately owes me $150.
Yeah, you ain't never getting paid. You still don't even pay me for my Adrian Dittman work.
Tricky motherfuckers.
John, for you to say that he's never going to get his money because the guy that owes money is a Jew? Come on, man.
Dude, all I've done is call him a tricky fucking Jew. I'm actually somewhat disappointed and yet impressed that I have not been fucking clipped yet. Just 100% I've been reported for it.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's a miracle that you're still on here. I think it's probably because you're the only Irishman on the app. They're like, we got to have some equity for these Irish fucking leprechaun midgets.
That's right.
right, it's been fun trolling you, laughing at your little disability being a leprechaun and all, even though you can maybe do a little bit of coding and some platform making and search engine optimizing. I've got to go on with my ways and go to the gym and get my schwitz on. I've got a date with a plastic surgeon tonight. She's a beautiful Hindu dindu.
Ooh, I love those.
Yeah, I made a reservation at an Indian restaurant, and she says she's a vegetarian, so we're going to find out just how vegetarian this Indian restaurant is.
She's shorter or taller than 5'3"?
She says she's 5'5", and I mean, she looks okay, but I'm pretty sure she has fake teeth. I wouldn't be surprised if she's done facial modification. She is vaxxed. But she's, you know, I believe that sex and love and relationships is 99% geographic. And I'm the laziest person in the world, so I could never, ever have a long distance relationship. I'm basically like, if you're outside of my 15-minute radius, like there will be no orgasm. So let's not waste our time. Very pragmatic about my orgasm making.
What generation Hindu dindu is she?
She's actually born in India, but went to dental school in India and then went to Boston University, I guess, to do like an accelerated dental program. And now she does like, you know, maxillofacial dental surgery or whatever. But I mean,
so she's still got the accent and she's still aggressive.
See, there's a balance because she's not that beautiful, but she is a doctor. So like that smooths out, you know, the rough edges. But again, it's mostly a geographic proximity thing. And a lot of people are in denial about geographic proximity when it comes to relationships. Some people, they're very lazy and, you know, they're not doing dating, you know, and a lot of losers on this app, they just talk on this app. They don't want to go to a bar. They don't want to talk to people in the real world. They just come here to have their gay little conversations with gay black men that, you know, are gay and fabulous. That's their entertainment because they refuse to try to meet men to have relationships, or men that refuse to have relationships with women. The point is, you know, you have to have a fine balance between beauty, intelligence, success. But, you know, as T-Robs knows, the moment she licks me arsehole, she's dead to me.
Obsessed with me.
El Normo really liked it when I was making fun of you. And he was like, you were on fire. You were on fire.
Yeah, that fucking faggot. Lou, what the fuck is this you're doing? Unreliable sourcing.
Hey, I've got a question.
No. Questions at the end.